Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TT Online Community Voices. My name is Rome, and welcome to our very first episode. Now, usually we would head across to each and every community and give you all information and welcome you all, but because we are in some unprecedented times, I would call it COVIDious times, we have to do things a bit differently and we have to use the technology. So we're going to bring the community voices directly to your homes. Right here, I'm going to say an esteemed panel of judges. I thought it was a competition, but I have an esteemed panel of professionals, and we have a business entrepreneur with us who's going to give us her insight on how you could progress in life. We know that a lot of you are at different stages in your lives. We have some people now leaving school. We have some people who may not be in school. We have some people later on in their lives. And because of the pandemic, or just because of things that may have changed in your life, you're looking forward to progression. You're looking for a change in your life. You're looking at what's the next step in my life. So depending on your different stage in your life, we have our panel will be able to help you to understand what options there are available provided by the Ministry of Sport and Community Development to help you to achieve your goals, your life goals, and to further progress yourself in life. So let me introduce my panel. A beautiful panel with me today. And let me start on my left with our ladies first. I have with us from UE Roytech, Ms. Genevieve Julian. Welcome, Genevieve.
Thank you.
And then I have representing Ms. Annette Savory. Annette, who is a caterer herself. So Annette, we eating lunch, you providing lunch. All right, good. Annette is providing lunch. And then I have with us from MIC, I have Dr. Alicia Martin, who is the registrar of RARU. Is that right? All right. And then I have Mr. Sean Batiste, also from MIC, but from the Hype Group. He is the senior coordinator of Hype. So welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So let me start with thinking. All right. I'm going to start with our MIC reps. I'm going to start at someone who is, let's say, they're just leaving school, secondary school, and they are thinking towards furthering their education. And they're hearing about this MIC place, and they want to know, what is it all about? So let me start with Mr. Batiste. Could you give us an overview of what MIC is?
All right. So good morning, everyone, and happy to be here. And I just want to state that MIC stands for MIC Institute of Technology. Is the premier technical vocational institution in Trinidad and Tobago, and of course the region. At MIC, what we do is we offer a range of courses. For example, we offer the HYPE program, which stands for Helping You Prepare for Employment. And that program is geared towards young persons from the age of 15 to 16, to 25. All right? And we also, that's a level 1 program. So someone can enter that program with no experience. All right? It's at level 1. We offer electrical, plumbing, carpentry, masonry, and welding. We pair those main skills, and there are some other compulsory areas that the trainee are required to do. We also offer a stipend, we offer a meal, we offer all the protective equipment for this young person to come in and just train. So what we do is they train for work. And then we have the MUS program now, which is at a level 2 program. And MUS will offer the CVQ, the Caribbean Vocational Qualification. At level 2, we also have building construction courses at MUS, electrical and plumbing and welding and so on. And we also have the hospitality aspect of the training at MUS, which will be like bartending, housekeeping. And we place our trainees in the industry because we have some partners in the industry, like for instance, like Hilton Hotel at Hyatt, TGI Fridays for these MUS trainees. So the training is a model where you work to learn. So as opposed to the level 1 where you learn to work in the workshop as a simulated activity, but for MUS, you are outside at the actual establishment. And that model is you work to learn.
So hype is level 1 and then must is level 2?
Yes.
So is it that you transition from hype into must?
Correct. Yes.
Or could you go from hype straight into the world of work?
Well, at level 1 in hype, you can, but you will be more like an apprentice or a tradesman assistant.
Right.
Because the program is 6 to 9 months, and we are currently offering a blended learning format where we do all the theory aspect of the training online, and then we are coming out into the workshop to do the practical aspect.
Right.
So you can matriculate from hype into must. So to do the level 2 where you actually go out on the field and you perform what you learn in the centers itself.
So you said that hype is 16 to 25, and then from hype you move into must. Now, if someone didn't do hype, would they be able to do must?
Yes, they can. What we look at in must is if you have some kind of level 1 qualification. Apart from must, it can be CCC, it can be YTEP, or if you have some kind of experience in this skill, because there are a lot of persons who are practicing or they learn from their family, their grandfather or their father or uncle. He carry you to work on some construction sites, so you gain some knowledge of this skill.
Right.
But you're not certified. So you can come into the must program at this entry level. We will consider your experience and you can enter the program. And of course, you will be placed on site and you will actually get certified.
So let's bring Dr. Martin into the conversation as well, because I knew that hype was level 1 and then must is level 2. But what's the age category for someone to join must?
So the must program, the multi-sector skill training program, caters to persons aged 17 to 50 years old.
Okay, so 17, that's a wide age bracket, a wide catchment area.
And if you missed hype or you missed the opportunity to get qualifications or training in any other program, you could come into the must program.
Okay, so you can come into must. And I know Mr. Batiste was saying that even if you had some hands-on experience. So let me paint this scenario. I am a young person, or let's say a middle-aged person, because you say 17 to 50. I'm a middle-aged person. I didn't really have much formal education. I didn't really go to primary school, or me, I've left primary school at common entrance age or SCA age. And now I'm a 30-something-year-old man, and I'm good with my hands. And I've been a mechanic or a carpenter for a while. I've been learning a trade. Can I join the must program and get certification?
Yes, we do cater for persons who have experience. So whereas in the high program, most of the young persons we have come through the school system, in the must program, we really cater for persons who have some kind of experience, but they are not certified.
You're not certified. So you get a certification at the end of both the hype and the must programs?
Yes.
And is this certificate accepted in Trinidad and Tobago?
This is accepted in the region.
It's in the region?
Yes.
Okay, so you graduate from hype or you graduate from must, and then you can go with this certificate and you're able to get a job.
Yes.
We
also have 2 other programs on the MIC, the ICP, the Industrial Craft Program, which we inherited from the John Donaldson Technical Institute and the San Fernando Technical Institute. And this,
as we know as John D and Sando Tech.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, so we cater for some of the same courses that Mr. Batiste would have mentioned, and that one is 17 and open.
So John D and Sando Tech now fall under MIC?
Yes, they have been merged into the ICP program.
Okay.
And the Nsdp program is one of the highest programs that we have, where participants, and it's the same for ICP, need to have 2 CXC passes, 3, Maths and English, and a science subject. So the Nsdp program is more engineering based, where they would specialize in one of 3 areas: industrial maintenance, mechanical engineering, or electronics. And it's a 3-year program, and they get a diploma. It's also called the Journeyman program, and we partner with a German institute for that particular certificate.
Because I remember, so I went to UWI, and I did mechanical engineering at UWI. And I remember some of the guys from UE. Most of the time when you have to go into UE, you would have to do a CXC. Well, back in my time it was CXC, and then you would do A-levels, and then you would end up in UE. But then I saw that some of the guys would have come from John D and then come in to do engineering. So I guess this is the program that you're referring to. So does it cater for those who did not do A-levels and they went to John D, then they could use that to get their diploma as a stepping stone to further their tertiary education?
Well, typically you use the CXC or CSEC as we call it now,
Right,
those
CSEC.
subjects.
Mm-hmm.
So not particularly John D, but there are special cases. But really we look for two subjects, maths and English, and a science.
So maths, English, and a science from CSEC.
Yes.
And then you do this program, and then you get a diploma in engineering.
Yes.
Right. And then you could use this diploma now to enter into a tertiary education
Into
facility.
tertiary education or to continue into the world of work, because like the MUST program, the Nsdp allows for candidates to work on a job site at our industry partners for 4 days a week, and they come in 1 day for training in the year 2 and 3.
Now, are any fees attached to these things? In terms of paying fees to go to MUST or paying fees to go to HYPE? Because I heard you say a stipend. So is it that you all are paying the students to come to school instead of the students paying to come to school?
Well, what I can say, what I can say is that there's a registration fee for all the programs.
All the programs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is paid, and that's $100.
$100 to MUST and HYPE and $500 for Nsdp and ICP.
So $100 to register. And is this $100 a year, a semester, or is just one-off?
So the HYPE program is typically 9 months, and the MUST program is 6 months for hospitality and 9 months for construction.
Okay.
The ICP program is 2 years, and the Nsdp program is 3 years.
Right.
So that registration fee lasts you out
But throughout the program.
throughout the program.
What? But are they hearing that? $100, $500, you can't go wrong.
Yes.
But
The Nsdp program is gated, however, so that one is actually $9,000, so it's $3,000 a year.
Right.
But participants have the opportunity to apply for GATE.
For GATE. All right. So that one is GATE funded.
I just want to add and re-emphasize that the MUST program and the HYPE program, those two programs pays a stipend.
Okay.
Those are the stipend programs, the level 1 and the level 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But for ICP, which is also level 2, and the certification is the NEC certification,
Mm-hmm.
right? The National NEC certificate, and the Nsdp, which is the certification from the Icon Institute of Germany
Mm-hmm.
in collaboration with MIC. Those two programs does not pay a stipend.
Right.
But there's an industry attachment that the trainee, when they being attached to the industry as an apprentice, the industry partner will pay the Nsdp trainee a stipend.
Okay.
Right? And the MUST trainee, of course, will be paid by MIC. But the ICP trainee is not paid. That's the NEC, the NEC certification. That trainee will not be paid.
So I know the question a lot of people at home would have right
stipend.
now is how much is the stipend?
Yes, I did.
That's how much is the stipend. So what are we looking at here?
All right. For HYPE, we're looking at $50 a day.
$50 a day.
Yes. Remember, it's not a salary. It's a
It's a
stipend. And apart from that $50, you will be receiving the full protective equipment. You will be receiving a meal.
So you're getting lunch.
Yes.
You're getting the uniform to come with. And you're getting $50 to come.
And your training, your tuition, and the instructors, experienced, qualified instructors who will be there at the centers, in the workshops, ready to train you.
So MUST and HYPE, you all are actually encouraging people to come. We're giving them a lot of different things to make sure that they stay and the education is comfortable. Because I remember when I went to school, and I'm not that old, my father would give me $10 for the week. So when I get a stipend of $50 for the day, I mean, that would cover transportation to and from the facility, and then you already have lunch. So I think that's a great encouragement factor for someone who wants to do the MUS or the HYPE program?
MUS actually gets $100 a day for
So MUS gets
construction.
$100 a day.
And hospitality, they get $75 a day.
Correct.
All right.
I was coming to that.
All right,
Yes.
all right, okay. Because this sounds, because I know a lot of people too, and I heard this a lot with some of the youths where they say they need to drop out of school because they need to see about their families. So it was a toss-up between going to school and then going out to work. And a lot of them want to further their education and further their studies and progress, but they have like a child at home to feed or they have a family to mind. So that's why I really do appreciate that we do have a stipend system in place, even though it's not to say a salary, but it's enough to say you could still provide at home something small because they're not going to be paying for lunch. They're really just going to have to pay for the transportation. And where are these facilities located?
All right. So at the facilities that offer the HYPE program, right, would be at the Lavantil Technology Center, the Omera Technology Center, and these centers are both HYPE and MUS. All right, so Lavantil, Omera. We also have the Sandy Grande Technology Center. So this is along the East-West corridor that offers HYPE. All right. However, we also have the Pleasantville Technology Center, all right, that offers the HYPE program there as well. And even MUS from St. Madeleine, they are presently housed at Pleasantville. And we also have the Point 14 Technology Center that offers the HYPE program as well. So we have different centers across Trinidad and Tobago that will offer, depending on where the center is and the catchment of the skill area per se. Because, for example, we have a Diego Martin Technology Center, all right, in Diego Martin here itself. And Diego Martin will offer the ICP program that Dr. Martin would have just explained. Those are the former John D courses. And Diego Martin will offer things like the jewelry craft. You can do the jewelry craft at Diego Martin Tech. So, right. So they offer some of these and some construction courses as well. So, but you will not get the HYPE program, you will not get the HYPE offering and the MUS offering at Diego Martin. Yeah, so you will have to come to Lavantil, which is the closest center. To do the,
okay.
Yeah,
so it depends on where you are and what is available.
Yes, so the courses are offered at different centers. And I just want to introduce two as well, and Dr. Martin could elaborate more on it. We also have a short course unit, which offers some customized short courses. Again, earlier on you mentioned that if for a mature person who wants to get into a particular field, all right, so we offer short courses like 3 months, like 2 days a week and so on. And both theory and practical, and there's a small fee attached to it.
Okay.
So probably Dr. Martin could.
Because that's what I was going to come to as well. Let's say I was part of the HYPE program and then I did MUS. And I decided, well, okay, I was into carpentry all the time, but I don't really like this anymore and I want to switch to do something else. Can I pick up another course? Or even if I was doing carpentry all the time and I into construction and I realized that, you know what, on the construction side, they're lacking a tile man all the time. So as well as me doing my carpentry and doing my cupboards and all of that, I feel like I put down some tiles as well. Could I pick up more than one course?
We really don't encourage persons in the social programs to come back in to do another course because we want another person to get a chance.
Oh, okay.
But they can do the short courses and pay a minimal fee.
So they can come back and do a short course?
Yes.
Okay. And you all have those type of courses in terms of carpentry or masonry?
Yes, yes. Currently we have a whole range of short courses running. Welding, fabrication, masonry, electrical, a whole range of short courses. There are too numerous to mention. But I will advise those who are interested to go on the MIC website.
Right.
And you will see, on our website, you will see all the courses are listed there.
Okay.
On the website.
So you head across to the MIC website, you look for the short courses, and then you register. So how do they go about registering?
So the registration for the short courses is very, very simple. It's online application. You go on, you look for SARARU, and you fill up the application form. Once you fill out the information, it goes to us automatically, and then we give you a call.
Right.
Right? So you'll be able to choose which course you want to do and where you want to do the course as well.
Well, I know too, as well as being in a pandemic, and we're trying to dissuade people from coming in all the time. So online is the place to go. And we know that a lot of you all at home, you're listening to us and you're watching us through some sort of device, whether it's your television or whether it's your phone or whether it's your computer. So we know that you would have access. A lot of people would have access to Facebook and Instagram, so they might well as have access to the MIC website. So you head across to the MIC website, you look for the course that you're interested in. Either you want to do, could they register for Hype and Must online as well?
Very soon.
Very soon, that's coming.
Yes.
So for now, how do they register for Hype or Must?
For now, you go onto the MIC page, you click on training, and you click on the relevant program and download the application form.
Right, so you can get the form online there too.
Yes.
So you get the form, you print it out, and then you come in and you get yourself registered.
Right now, we are doing a drive for Nsdp and ICP, which will be starting in October. So those students will be receiving their grades for CSEC in October, early October, I believe. They are invited to apply for the Nsdp and ICP programs.
Ah, okay. So you all got all the information, so you can head across to the MIC website. You all know the MIC website, Ofan?
www.mic.co.tt.
All right, www.mic.co.tt, and go check them out. It is never too late to learn a trade or to further your education or to just be able to progress in life to achieve your life goals and MIC. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Martin.
One other thing I want to mention about our programs, all our programs allow trainees to participate in life skills.
Life skills?
Yeah, so there's a life skills curriculum where if you want to improve your attitude, your coping skills, you do that program. You do conflict resolution, values, self-development. It's a wide-ranging curriculum. So you come and you get to be a better person. You get to cope better with life struggles as well as you receive a trade.
Okay. So it gives you that all-round training. So not only to be a more educated person or to learn a craft, but to be a better person as a whole or a better leader in life. So life skills, okay. I feel like it. So is anyone able to go and do these things? Could I just go and say, well, I'm coming for a life skills course?
Well, it's attached to the skill area.
Right.
But you can come in and do any skill that you want.
You can just come in and do any skill. Because I mean, I fall still under 50, so I can fall into All right, so thank you very much. Well, you ain't going anywhere yet.
I would like to add one more
Sure.
I must include this, that we have a student services department. Student services, so we offer in student services, you have guidance and counseling. So from time to time, there may be trainees who are enrolled in our program may need assistance in terms of counseling. And, there may be things that personally that may be affecting, their ability to cope and so on. So we have student services in terms of guidance and counseling, and we also have a placement department that assists in placing them in the industry. So I just want to mention this.
Counseling.
So apart from the life skill facilitator who is present in the center, we have a guidance counselor that is also present in each center who the trainees would see, that they would be recommended by probably the instructors or the coordinator, so they can see the guidance counselor assist the trainees and them. And whatever needs they may have that we can assist them with, we do that. We do reach out to them as well.
So I don't know if they call it a semester, but this course, when are these courses supposed to start?
All right. So that's a good question. Well, due to the pandemic presently, we have a cycle of hype that is in and a cycle of must that is in that has started in, I think, yes, they would have started. We had a group started last year, and we had a group started a couple of months ago, just before the lockdown, in
Right.
terms of hype. And our usual time usually starts at September for 9 months, and we run till June.
Right.
All right, that's our normal time that we will start our programs in September, October. But due to the pandemic, our start times, may vary depending on, because we are in certain times, and
Yeah.
So our theory may be online, and then our practical is soon to start. And as soon as we complete the practical, we're going to start our next cycle. But what I can encourage someone to do is, if they're interested in the program, they can join the program now. In terms of sign up your application, fill out your application and so on, and get it into MIC. You can bring in the application if you get a hard copy and the supporting documents to MIC head office. That is where the registration unit is, and they can drop it in. All right, apart from the online application, they can drop the supporting documents, like a birth paper, copy of ID, bank account for the stipend, and so on, those supporting documents.
So what is
it?
it? Okay, and in terms of hype, I know that's the entry level. What prerequisites or pre-qualifications would someone need to have before they enter hype? Or can anyone just enter hype once they make the age requirements?
Well, to tell you the truth, anyone can enter once they meet the age requirement.
Right, so once you're between 16 and 25, you can enter hype.
We have had trainees being recommended to us, even by the state. All right? The hype program is recommended for, we have a mix of young people. Even a young man, who's not coping with the education, secondary education system. He may be, having some challenges in terms of academic achievements and so on. He can come to us. If he desires to do something with his hands, because our program has 75, we could say 80% practical and 20% theory. So that's at level 1. But the higher the level you go, you do more theory than practical.
Okay.
But when you're at level 1, you do more practical.
More hands-on.
Yes.
Than
and
theory.
The theory is just to support or to underpin the practice that you're actually doing.
All right.
So that is to help you to understand why you're doing it this way, why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay. So talking about theory, I want to jump across and chat a bit with our Roytech, our UE Roytech rep. We have Ms. Genevieve Julian. So Genevieve, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
In terms of tertiary education, are we talking UE Roytech? Tell us a bit about UE Roytech itself and what do you all offer?
So UE Roytech is what we refer to as a private tertiary institution. We have been in existence for the last 34 years. So we have a very rich history. If you recall the days of RBTT Bank, right, Roytech, that was the name at the time, came out of the genesis of RBTT Bank. We were actually the training arm of the Human Resource Development Unit of the bank. So our genesis is steeped in preparing persons for the world of work. Young persons coming straight out of CXC, or your continuous professional development as you progress on your career path. Okay. So we offer 4 particular areas of study. We focus on business management, teacher education, information technology, and our corporate training unit, which offers specialized professional development and corporate training interventions.
Okay, because when I was in secondary school, we would have some students who would do, well, now it's CSEC, and then they would head across to Roytech. So they would not have done CAPE or A-levels, and they would go straight into Roytech. So is it that you could go, is it the same case now?
Yes, we still continue to focus on taking persons straight in from CXC We mold you during the time that you are there through our applied approach to teaching and learning. Because our focus really is ensuring that our graduates are work ready. So it's a blend of the academic with soft skills and skills that employers are looking for when you hire a university graduate.
Okay, so is it that there's an age group that you all target for UB Roytech, or is it open to any age?
It's open to any age, but you must have gotten past CXC because the matriculation requirement is 5 CXCO levels.
So you must have 5 CXCO levels.
Yes.
Passes.
It's the minimum entry requirement. We do accept persons on occasion with less than 5 CXC, but they would go through a special interview. We look at other types of certification that they may have and even their employment history as well.
And now I know you were mentioning that you all have 4 groups that you all really focus on because, again, when I think UB Roytech, because it was affiliated with a bank, my mindset was if you're thinking business-oriented or in business studies, that you would head to UB Roytech. Is that still the case?
It's still the case, yes, but I like to think of us as an untold story. Although we've been around for 34 years, besides business management, we also have a heavy focus on information technology for many years. I think that program that you were referring to, young people at your age when you were writing CXC, they came into Roytech. They came to do IBCT, Introduction to Business and Computer Technology.
Right.
That was our flagship program back in the 90s that we were very well known for. So persons who wanted to, that training after CSEC, they didn't want to go and write A-levels at that time.
Right.
They came to UB Roytech, and that was a program that prepared them for the world of work. So if your intention was to work in a bank, because back then that was a big thing.
Everybody wanted to go work in a
So
bank.
you came to Roytech, you did IBCT,
Right.
and then through our apprenticeship program, you were placed at different employers, and many of our graduates from IBCT continue to stay on at the place where they were placed for their apprenticeship.
So now you're saying that you all have a big IT program as well.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about this IT program and who is it recommended for?
So we've transitioned from IBCT when we changed ownership. So in 2006, the bank handed the operations of Roytech over to UWI St. Augustine campus. And so today we are wholly owned subsidiary of UWI St. Augustine. Therefore, we are now UWI Roytech.
Right.
All right. So our focus remains on work-ready graduates. And so it's a different market completely because in order for you to go to UWI, generally you have to do CAPE.
Yeah.
But Roytech continues to focus on the CSEC graduates, taking you from CSEC to a degree. In our focus on information technology, we offer the associate degree in information systems management, and we also have a bachelor's degree in information systems management as well. You progress from the associate degree to the bachelor's degree. Okay, the intention is for persons at the associate degree level to lay the foundation and to understand the theory and the curriculum as it relates to jobs in information technology. And so when you now progress to the bachelor's level of the program, there is where you explore those specialized areas that are now offered in information technology. Things like cybersecurity and all of these fantastic areas that are now digital transformation. The bachelor's degree in information systems management is also one of those programs that are recognized by the Ministry of Education if you actually want to become a teacher in the area of information systems management. It has a broad spectrum of curriculum, spans the curriculum of the secondary school in information technology. So we find from time to time, let's say you may have done another IT-related degree at another institution. We get a lot of referrals, persons coming back to us to do modules in our program because this is what the ministry is looking for.
Ah.
Yeah.
So then I heard you mention an associate degree and a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
So is it a case where you do your associate, so you come, let's do the process. I come from CSEC.
Right?
I get my 5 O-level passes.
Yes.
And then I apply for Roytech. Let's say I make the cut.
Yeah.
And I get into UW Roytech. And I do an associate degree first.
Correct.
How long is the associate degree program?
Associate degree is 2 years part-time or 1 year and 2 terms full-time. And
Okay.
we are what you call a trimester institution. We have 3 terms in an academic year.
Right. So let's say after my 2 years, I finish
Right.
my associate degree. And then I move on to my bachelor's degree. Am I doing it right there at UW Roytech, or do I go to UW
No.
St. Augustine to do it?
Right there at UW Roytech.
So
So
right
the
there at UW
bachelor's degree in information systems management is available at UW Roytech.
So you do
Yes.
that there. And how long
So
is
you-
that program?
That's another year and a half, a full-time study.
So a year and a half. So in all, I would be able to have an associate degree in what, 3.5 years? I would have an
Yes. So
associate degree.
typically for
and a full
3.5 years for a complete degree. And the thing is, when you in that progression, you are able to actually get a certification. That's the associate degree that allows you now to become employable. All right. So you get 2 types of certification. You don't need to wait until you've completed 3.5 years to be certified in order to present something to your employer or even to step out into the world of work.
And is it the same case for the other programs? Because I know you said that there's 4 different programs that you all offer.
4 different areas.
Area.
Yes. It is similar in the business management area. We do have an associate degree in management that leads you to the bachelor's degree in management as well. Same philosophy at the associate degree level. It's all encompassing. We expose you to multiple areas of business administration and management. And then when you get to the bachelor's degree level now, you have the opportunity to specialize. So at the bachelor's degree level, you can specialize in financial management, marketing, human resource management, and the new area of business psychology.
And you spoke about becoming a teacher. So is there special training for someone that wants to become a teacher?
Definitely. UW Roytech, we are leaders in teacher education. We've been offering our bachelor's degree in primary school education since somewhere about 1990, thereabout. At that time, we offered the program in collaboration with the University of New Brunswick in Canada. So chances are, if you have a relative who is a primary school teacher throughout the 90s and the 20s, they probably went to UW Roytech. You can find a primary school teacher in almost every school in the country. We now offer our very own accredited bachelor's degree in primary education. So no longer with the University of New Brunswick. It is our indigenous program that was designed in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. So that is a 4-year degree program. If you want to become a primary school teacher, there's a special route that you have to take. You must enroll in a program that is approved by the Ministry of Education. And so the UW Roytech program is approved by the ministry. And it is a 4-year part-time program.
A 4-year part-time
Yes.
program. And when are these programs going to start? Seeing
Okay.
that we
So our academic year begins in September. We do have 2 staggered dates in September because of the scenario with CSEC results. So for persons who are enrolling for the first time in year 1, your program will begin on October 18th. So we are currently accepting applications. You do not need to have CSEC results as yet in order to apply.
Okay.
We welcome you to apply. We encourage you to apply at this point because it's going to get crazy in October when results come out. All right? We are completely automated and we have embraced the technology. So you can go online at www.roytech.edu, click the link on how to apply. There's a 6-step process there, and the application process is done completely online. We are doing everything electronically.
Right. Well, I mean, you can't come to go and apply for an IT program and you don't know how to go on the website and apply.
Yes.
At least that should be a prerequisite.
Yeah, we've
that
tried
you know
to
how
make
use
it
the website
as
to be
simple
able to
as
apply.
possible. It's a very simple process. We have a diagram that's on the website that takes you through the different steps. We also have our marketing team available via our website chat who can answer questions for you. If you are having any challenges, you can also call us. We're operating remotely. We all have remote contact numbers and so on.
Right.
So although we are closed to the public, we continue to function and we are getting ready for the start of the
And they're getting
academic
ready
year.
for the start.
Yes.
So, okay, so they apply online, and now the classes may be virtual or they are physical.
Of course, we have been completely virtual since the announcement by the Prime Minister last year, March 13th. I will never forget that date, when schools were closed. So within 2 weeks' time, we were up and running, and we continue to offer our classes completely virtually.
Okay,
Yes.
so they can do their classes. So you can do
Yes.
your classes virtually, so they don't have to study. Because I was not going to ask you, but where the campus is? Where's the
I still want to tell you where the campus is.
Tell us.
Yes, because we're almost like stalwarts in the community of East Port of Spain. We are located at 136 to 138 Henry Street in Port of Spain.
Port of Spain.
So we span the block of Henry to Charlotte. On the Henry Street side, we are right next to the Caribbean Court of Justice. And on the Charlotte Street side, we are just opposite BP Renegade Spaniard.
Okay, so give us the website that they can go on.
So
again.
the website is www.roytech.edu. I invite persons to peruse the website. It's nicely laid out. You go to the programs page. The programs page then divides nicely into the areas of business management, information technology, teacher education, and we have a separate page for the corporate training department, which offers all of our what we call continuous professional development programs for persons who are working already and they're looking at uptooling and upskilling and so on.
Great.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, teachers and training, I want to introduce our very own, a retired teacher. She was a dean. I don't know if she used to give plenty licks back in her time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ms. Annette Savory. Welcome, Annette.
Thank you very much.
All right, so Ms. Savory, let's talk a bit. I know that you were part of one of the community development programs, and now you're a caterer. So what program did you enroll in when you started?
I enrolled the first course was the PVC furniture making, and then I did the soap and candle making, jewelry craft, and Chinese cooking.
Okay, so you did furniture, soap and candle making, and cooking. So you
the Chinese cooking,
cooking.
Jewelry craft.
And jewelry craft as well. So you have a wide range of knowledge.
Yes, because I am multi-skilled. I have other skills that some self-taught, most self-taught. And so I'm able, and I shared with the youth. I had a youth group for 25 years. I shared my knowledge with. And as a business studies teacher, I found from very early, I found that why teach just theory in business? Especially where I taught, most of the students came from what we call the challenge areas, and they were not financially, their parents or guardians were not financially well off for them to go, to pay somewhere and so on. So I shared my skills with the students in the classroom. So for example, if it's a half hour per week or 1 day per fortnight, we forgot about CSEC and just concentrated on a skill.
On a skill.
Yes, because everyone in getting 5 business subjects at CSEC, everybody would not have been able to go out there and just get a job or head to university, etc. But with the skill, they could have used their business knowledge with the skill they learned at the school and start something on their own until they were able. I couldn't give them a certificate to say that you are a PVC furniture manufacturer or so. However, I always felt that what I did was at least whet their appetite.
Right.
Because there were so many, and still we have so many windows of opportunity here, even with the pandemic, and I think even more so, that skilled people can make their name outside.
Because I like that you said that. Because I knew that not all students are really, as you would say, academically inclined. So there are some students some children who will be going to the school system and your parents want you to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or something like that. And I guess we need to know the child that we have. And you being a teacher, from your experience, did you see children in your class where you would see that they wouldn't really pick up the theory because you said you expose them to some of the craft stuff, but you would see that sometimes they may excel in the craft and you may think that that might be the path for them instead of the academics?
Yes, you have, we have young people today who they cannot, they can read and write, yes, to help themselves. However, they just couldn't, and at that time, at age 15 and 16, they couldn't cope with the academics for CSEC.
Right.
And there were quite a lot of reasons why they couldn't. Some would have been domestic, some would have been medical, or so on, but they were able to do well with the skill. And I always encourage the students, go somewhere and retool yourself, grow higher, progress in the skill, and then try CSEC again. And some of them within 2 years, they did that, and within 2 years, they rewrote their CSEC and got their 5O levels. So that they have their 5O levels plus more than one skill.
Right.
But it kept them happy. I think we speak about entrepreneurship many a time, and some do not look at, there are seasonal entrepreneurs, there are, I call it event entrepreneurs, and you have, for the skills, for me as a teacher, I saw students, these 15, say to 18-year-olds, who their lives changed when they looked at, when they did this, pursue the skill. And it changed their family life. Because, and I'm telling you from the experience where there are parents or guardians who would have said thanks. Miss, what you taught her, it changed everything at home. Some of these children were no longer beaten
at
home. Parents and guardians, they beat because that's what they know. That's what they grew up with. But once someone started doing that skill at home and everybody got involved, the family bonded. And so there was less strife and so on. And it healed. Skills heal people. And I think if you speak with some people now during this pandemic, that in some homes, they are enjoying that healing process where more of them are at home and they're bonding together doing something. Whereas you may find that there are some homes where you have the mental health issues developing. Because they don't have, knowledge of a skill to do something.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that too, because I met a friend of mine and he does woodworking. And I asked him, now he is an IT professional too, like he went and he trained in IT, but he has his garage set up where he does this woodworking all the time. And he was so proud to show me around his place in his house of the different pieces of furniture that he built for himself. And when I go, he was excited to show me how he has his setup and his circular saw and all of these things. And I asked him, well, you have a good IT job. Why are you bothering to do this? And for him, he said it was for his mental health. He said that him doing the woodworking relaxed him and it gave a sort of euphoria and a sort of accomplishment completing a task with his hands and creating something. And that tied back into what you were saying with the mental health and in terms of people being able to work together as a family and do a craft or something like that. Because as I was saying before, not everyone would be, as much as we have the Roytex and UV and all of that, not everyone can go down that path. And I'm happy to see that you ventured down that path because you had the teaching experience, but you still did the craft work. And how was that, you being a teacher and then developing a craft? Did you do it after classes or on a weekend? How did you get involved in those?
With this student?
No, not with the students. For you.
I did it after school.
After school.
Right? After work on afternoons when they like now the Ministry of Community Development, every year they would advertise in the newspapers the various courses. And whatever I was interested in and wherever it was held, I went. So I did PVC in La Ceiba in Maraval. I did jewelry craft at the Coterie Center in Barataria. The Chinese cooking was in a community center in Caranage. And the soap and candle making was at the Trinidad and Tobago Federation Women's Institute in Cocorite.
So you went all over Trinidad just looking?
Because I was interested.
Because you were interested.
And I had students to help, to bring them out from what we call the lower strata of society. And I just love sharing. And to see the smiles on the faces of the young people and to know that they came to school every day and they came on time because they had something to do.
So you would go to these courses and come and bring back the information to the students and teach them.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. And then I heard you have a wicked pastel because I heard the first Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago had a pastel right here. Dr. Eric Williams come to buy pastel by you. Well, you really get through.
I recall Dr. Williams, he attended an event. And I had supplied pastels for the event. And later on, the then head of the public service, who is now deceased, and I can't remember, I think this person, the head of this service at that time was Mr. Doddridge Allen. And he brought one Anne Desilles, who I think maybe she was an ambassador, one of our ambassadors or so. And she told me that Dr. Williams would like to have some pastels. He tasted the pastels that day.
Right.
And that's how I started my catering business.
And that's how you started?
Because when I was told that, I keep saying that I felt my muscles drop off. And I did it. I wasn't even aware of how to charge and so on. And it was well received. I got the information back that it was well received. And from that, I started making pastels for catering. And then I went on to other foods and so on.
Right. So up to now, you still do catering?
Yes. And but I do more for families and for some senior citizens who are hypertensive and diabetic, etc.
Right.
So that it's not an everyday thing. If it's for families, they will take sufficient for 2 or 3 days. And then, so like if I do on Mondays, and then I'll do on Wednesdays, and then the Friday.
So would you say that the learnings that you got from the Ministry of Community Development's programs would have helped you in your businesses or in your teachings?
Yes. But I must say, for me, I began as an entrepreneur from childhood because of my grandmothers, maternal and paternal, and my parents.
Right.
They were always, into the skills and so on, and I learned from them. And I just continued. I did not do A-levels. I was tired of chalk and talk.
Chalk and talk as a teacher?
Yes, with all due respect to my teachers. I had very good teachers.
Right.
And for me, and I think this is why I shared skills, because I was not into too much chalk and talk. So we talk while we were doing the skills. That's all right.
While they were doing
okay?
stuff. Yeah.
But that I will, if it is to encourage parents and guardians and so on, whether mother or father, who I would say to help ease your frustrations and so on in the house is to learn a skill and share it with your children. And there will be less time for abuse and
You
so
think
on.
you will be able to help with that?
Yes. And I spoke earlier about the seasonal entrepreneur. And so I have coined that.
Right.
I don't hear people talk about it. Because you have some entrepreneurs some skilled people who will make something and they sell at Christmas time, Eid, Diwali, Easter, Carnival, etc.
But that's me, I'm a seasonal entrepreneur. I make parang for Christmas.
But and today we really have now. I pursued guidance and counseling at the beginning of the 90s. And because of the problems I saw my students coming with every year, different problems and so on. And I pursued that, and then I was able to help the students. And so even though the school had a guidance counselor, however, for that one person, for the number of students in the school,
it was a bit difficult.
Right. So that many times it's more group counseling that was done. So for me, with that, and for the and with the skills and so on, it really helped the young people. And having had a youth group for 25 years, I was able to even share more.
Well, I'm sure we have some young people watching us at home and say, hey, look, Miss on TV, look, Miss on TV. So, guys, I want to thank you all very much for joining us here today. I think it was a very insightful conversation that we had. I'm sure that a lot of you at home would have learned so many different ways where you could progress in life. And it's just the first of many discussions to be had. This is TT Online Community Voices, and we're going to bring the voices to your community, to your home, or courtesy the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. And again, I want to thank Dr. Martin, I want to thank Mr. Batiste from the MIC crew. So we're going to look out for the registration. We're looking out for the hype, all the different programs that you all offer. I know people looking forward to the free lunch and the stipend. So we want to encourage you all to go out. Thank you very much, Ms. Julian from URI Roy Tech, and thank you very much, Ms. Sabri, as well. So hope you learned something. I did as well. My name is Rome, and thank you very much for joining us today. Catch you. We have another episode. Stay tuned.